guys, I'm at the National Press Club, so the event's about to start, so we are reaching guys. We're just getting it.
Mr. Dekoya, can you lead us?
Ìṣọ̀kan wà ní pé láti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú gbogbo ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà ti lé bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀.
Please sit down. Thank you. Before we move forward, I would like to call Alagba, the person who is going to tell us exactly what we are doing here today and why.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I will want to, in solidarity with our brother in Nigeria, whom else was attacked today, we, the entire membership of Yoruba One Voice Worldwide, condemn in its entirety the attack on one of the freedom fighters, Mr. and Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho, popularly known as Igboho Osha. I bring greetings from the Yoruba One Voice Worldwide. My name is Debo Adekoya. I am an IT project manager professional by profession, based here in the United States, a member of the Yoruba One Voice, and by extension, a team member of the Foreign Affairs Department of the Yoruba One Voice Worldwide. Before I begin my speech, I would like to acknowledge the presence of my colleagues whom I have been privileged to work with in this International World Press Conference at the Foreign Affairs Department of Yoruba One Voice. Sitting immediate to my left here is Dr. Akib Abiola, who will be presenting a PowerPoint slide on insecurity, terrorism, and genocide in Yoruba land and Nigeria. To my far left is Mr. Larry Aderoju, who will also be making a presentation after, both of whom reside here in the United States. I would love to acknowledge other team members presently watching us virtually. Engineer Adebayo Adamalekun, who is the General Secretary of the Department, Olori Moremi Adedipe, a team member, and Prince Adedapo Adesomi, who is also a team member. This team member have put in tremendous amount of man-hour, spanning all the stages of this project, right from the initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and all of them are formidable members. We thank you all for your effort and everything you've done for this organization. This team members, and I am highly honored and supremely gratified and could not ask for a better honor than being asked to handle this section of the program. Thank you all to the Yoruba One Voice membership. Allow me to honor our great patron in the person of Iba Gani Abiodun Ige Adams,
Oòduà.
the 15th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, who is also virtually present with us. He is a man that is full of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and it's a big blessing to the Yoruba race. We are happy to have you in our presence, sir. Lord Mofe. I also want to acknowledge our the Secretary General of the Yoruba One Voice Worldwide, in the person of Dr. Shina Okonomo, and also the Director of Program, Erelu Abike Ade Early, who is not just only a member, she is currently and forever a founding member of the organization. Want to thank the various departments of YOV, the publicity, public relations, media, finance, legal departments, and the entire membership of the organization worldwide for their unflinching support. All of them are watching virtually. We are also being joined virtually by a team of panelists who were introduced earlier. And also, I want to thank my wife for the support she's given me to get to this level. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon again. You are welcome to this press conference. This epoch-making event is important in the sense that today we are discussing the determination of the more than 60 million Yoruba people in Southwest, some part of South-South, and North Central Nigeria to carve a niche for themselves in the geographical entity called Nigeria. As we gather here today, our people back home are being attacked and killed by Fulani herdsmen supported by the federal government of Nigeria. Killer herdsmen run amok in our land daily, with cases of extrajudicial killing already reaching an alarming crescendo. I am sure you have seen videos shared on social network on Yoruba men, women, and children hurt by these heartless Fulani killers in our land. A video of which will be presented later on in this program. The palace of a traditional ruler was razed and business premises vandalized. Fulani leaders openly talk about their affinity to Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Abuja, boasting that any attempt to chase them out of Yoruba land will lead to more killings. Even on Friday, June 25th, 2021, the Eleda of Edaile Ekiti East local government area of Ekiti State, Oba Benjamin Osho, was abducted while returning to his palace from the farm. What an affinity on Yoruba culture and tradition. So our agitation today is not new. It is supported by millions of Yoruba all over the world. In fact, the political, economic, social, and cultural perturbation has been on since 1960 when Nigeria got its independence from Britain. To subjugate Yoruba people in the First Republic, the first modern Yoruba leader in the person of Chief Obafemi Awolowo was jailed by the Hausa Fulani oligarchy and on trumped charges of treason. Till he died on May 9, 1957, Awolowo was never allowed to replicate what he did as premier of the defunct Western region at the national level. On June 12, 1993, history was made as a leading Yoruba light chief, Moshood Kashimawo Olawale MPO Abiola, won the presidential election across the country on the platform of the defunct Social Democratic Party, SDP. He even defeated his challenger, Alhaji Bashir Tofa, who contested on the platform of the National Republican Convention, NRC, in his hometown in Kano, Nigeria. You all know what happened eventually. The election was annulled by the Hausa Fulani oligarchy, and Abiola was arrested. He was eventually killed on July 7, 1998. The agitation for the actualization of June 12 mandate led to the killing of thousands of Yoruba across the western states. Even today, scores of Yoruba are being kidnapped, raped, or killed by Fulani herdsmen, surreptitiously armed by the federal government and the Fulani-led federal government just to underyoke our people and to take over our land. Today we say enough is enough. This contraption called Nigeria and the mistakes of the British is merging people of different ideology, orientation, and in beliefs is the cause and is the belief and cause of this crisis in Nigeria today. The highly respected Catholic Archbishop of Sokoto Diocese, Reverend Father Matthew Azan Kuka, said recently that Nigeria's glory is about to depart. So before this glory departs, we believe the Yoruba must first find their level because darkness will eventually descend. The situation is beyond salvation. The story of Yoruba is similar to that of Singapore. From the hands of the Japan to Britain and then Malaysia, Singaporeans were subjugated for decades. But because they are smart, bold, courageous, industrious, they were determined that their future depended on their independence from the suzerainties. On September 16, 1963, the hold of Britain was loosened and Singapore became a state in Malaysia. This brought an end to the 144 years of British rule on the island. But the agitation of Singaporeans for total freedom from slavery did not stop. On August 9, 1965, the reality dawned on the world that Singapore must go its way. It became the Independent Republic of Singapore. Even today, the population of Singapore is less than 6 million. That is the population of about 6 local governments in Lagos, Nigeria. But Singapore is an economic power globally. It is one of the world's wealthiest countries in terms of per capita GDP. However, in Nigeria, the more than 60 million Yoruba, who are highly industrious, intelligent, and doing exports all over the world, have been subjugated by the Fulani oligarchy. What we are seeking is simple. We want to direct our affairs without interference because we have sufficient means for a comfortable livelihood and statehood. Also, what we are doing here today is not new to the world power politics. In the late 1930s, Canada, South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand were given independence within the Commonwealth. Since then, more than 60 countries have gained independence from the United Kingdom. Earlier, the United States got independence from Britain in 1776. Can you imagine what type of world we will be living in today if the US is still under the sovereignty of Britain? British Empire was a term used to describe all the places surrounded around the world once ruled by Britain. Just imagine how the world will be today if these countries are still under the British Empire. We say enough is enough. For emphasis, below are some of the countries that got their independence from Britain. The United States in 1776, Australia 1901, Afghanistan 1919, the Bahamas 1973, Bahrain 1971, Barbados 1966, Belize 1981, Botswana 1966, Brunei 1984, Canada 1867, Cyprus 1960, Dominica 1978, Egypt 1922, Fuji 1970, the Gambia 1965, Ghana 1957, Grenada 1974, India 1947, Iraq 1932, Jamaica 1962, Jordan 1946, Kenya 1963, Kuwait 1961, Lesotho 1964, Malawi 1964, Malaysia 1957, Maldives 1965, Malta 1964, Mauritius 1968, Nauru 1968, New Zealand 1907, Nigeria 1960, Pakistan 1947, Qatar 1971, St. Lucia 1971, St. Kitts and the Nevis 1983, Seychelles 1976, Sierra Leone 1961, Solomon Islands 1978, South Africa 1910, Sri Lanka 1948, Sudan 1956, Switzerland 1968, Tanzania 1961, Tonga 1970, Trinidad and Tobago 1962, Tuvalu 1978, Uganda 1962, United Arab Emirates 1971, Yemen 1967, Zambia 1964, and Zimbabwe in 1980. Ladies and gentlemen, just try and picture a scenario in your inner mind how the world would look like today if all these countries are still under the dominion, power, lordship, control, and authority of Britain. Think about it just for 1 second, what the entire world would look like with all these countries still under one dominion. Obviously, there will be chaos all over the world. Aside the political factors, economically, we live in a better world today because all these countries have been able to showcase their potentials. The case of Nigeria cannot be any different. We have a strong belief that restructuring of any kind can never happen under the Muhammad Buhari administration. That's the current president of Nigeria. Because to him, this will be inimical to the interest and the agenda of the Fulani. The Fulani wants to continuously manipulate the political economic process so they can continue to hold on to power. And the tragedy is that they are now bringing anything to the table. Globally, all the world powers today are also economically strong and intelligent. This is where invention and creativity comes in. For you to be relevant internationally, you must always put something on the table. Also, relevant stakeholders and experts in any country must be allowed to supervise the process of production to enhance more values, gain productivity, inclusivity, and profitability. It is interesting to know that Nigerians get its bulk money from the following agencies: Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Nigerian Customs Services, NCS, Federal Inland Revenue Services, NIRS, Nigerian Port Authority, NPA, and Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agencies, NIMASA. Is it not curious that all these agencies are headed by Northerners? So, by Northerners, why is it difficult for Buhari to appoint a Southerner to head one of these agencies, even when 90% of the resources are domiciled in the South? So, which restructuring are people talking about? The Yorubas are tired of this federation called Nigeria because it will never work. We want our independence. We want the world to support this agitation because it is just and timely. Whoever is still campaigning for restructuring to happen under the Buhari administration is not in tune with the reality of Nigeria today. For obvious reasons, restructuring can never happen under Buhari. This is because the political and economic reorganizations is believed to be inimical to the interest and agenda of the Fulani imperialist. To continue to subjugate the Yoruba, the Buhari regime is daily violating the constitution to ensure that the status quo remains. However, the question is, for how long? Calling for restructuring that will never come is a waste of time. Since 2015, when he came to power, the administration has been manipulating the political and economic system to perpetuate the Hausa Fulani oligarchy in power. rather than to agree to a mutually beneficial system that will guarantee impartiality, justice, fairness, true federalism, patriotism, and nationalism. Some bloodthirsty Fulani maniacs from the north and even outside the country are on the rampage, all in the name of open grazing, killing, kidnapping, maiming, looting, and raping. Not one single Fulani has been arrested in this bloodletting and land-grabbing mission. All the efforts by southern governors to stop the anomaly are being frustrated by the Buhari administration, led by its chief strategist and spokesman, the Attorney General of the Federation and Justice Minister, Abubakar Malami San. To deceive Nigerians, the Buhari regime, before the 2019 general election, set up a committee led by the Kaduna State government, Nasir al-Rufai, to look for ways of actualizing restructuring. Today that he has been re-elected, the election was manipulated anyway. Buhari is singing different song, saying he lacks the power to restructure Nigeria. He has told Nigerians to direct their agitation to National Assembly, and we all know that this National Assembly, led by Senate President Ahmad Lawan and Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Bajabiamila, told Nigerians that they will never oppose anything that comes from the Buhari presidency. The Buhari administration knows what to do legally to stop the agitation in the land. Pitiably, rather than stop it, it is fueling it. The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Shahad Bubakar III, recently said 7 to 8 of the every kidnappers in Nigeria are Fulani. That is the obvious truth, and the Buhari regime never said anything to counter this. But when the southern leaders echoed the same opinion, they were accused of ethnic profiling. Today, we reiterate our determination that the only way out is for the Yoruba to get out of this trap and the fraud called Nigeria. According to a commentator, it is time for southern elite to confront and resist political subjugations, economic pillage, ethnic cleansing, and mental slavery. They should unbundle the dubious national unity sustained by the tiny cabal to hold the rest of the country down to their medieval mentality. We cannot continue to pretend that all is well with Nigeria. The country is sick and is on life support. There is massive killing field out there in Nigeria. Yoruba do not want to be part of this madness anymore because we value the life of our people. Again, we plead with the international community to look into our plea and to also assist the Yoruba in ensuring peaceful and fair referendum before the imminent carnage is unleashed. Enough is enough. Thank you.
Once again, for our people joining us on Zoom, we are live at the National Press Club, Washington, D.C., United States. And what we are looking at today is genocide, kidnapping, maiming, and killing, disintegration of that country called Nigeria. The population is over 205 million. The Yoruba, we are almost 40 million going through this. Before I go on,
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akiba Abiola. Before we start showing you the slides, I'm going to do some introduction first. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Akiba Abiola. My task today for this conference is to present to you visually what has been happening in Nigeria for the last 6 years, mainly since Buhari took office. Like we say in America, seeing is believing. Most of you have heard or read about various atrocities in Nigeria and the state of insecurity in the country. Today, we will bring it to you live. The atrocities that have been happening for the past 5 years. We believe that the world, through this PowerPoint and the video, we hear the cries of the children and women that have been massacred and killed by the Fulani terrorists. The irony of this is that the president himself, General Muhammadu Buhari, said that these killers are foreigners. Now, you must ask yourself, why will a president of a country allow foreigners to take over his country? Why will he prefer to give rights to cows instead of his citizens? It's unbelievable. Again, these videos and the PowerPoint is very gruesome. Viewers' discretion is advised. What you just seen is not a movie. It is a documentary put together by Yoruba One Voice. It's not a movie produced by Hollywood or Nollywood. This was done by one of us. We wanted to highlight to the world what has been happening under Buhari since he became president. If you live in America, we want you to inform your congressmen and your senators about these atrocities. If you live in England, we want you to copy these videos and slides and send them to your members of parliament and to Boris Johnson, your prime minister. And next, they should stop allowing Buhari to come to England for treatment. If they continue to allow him to get treatment in England, they are complicit to this atrocity.
Yes.
If they continue to give Buhari permission to come to England to get treatment so that he won't die, England is complicit to the atrocities that is going on in Nigeria. And any country in the world that continue to support this barbaric government are complicit to atrocities and the killings of Yoruba people and all the people in southern Nigeria, including people in the Middle Belt. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We are not going to take this anymore. The atrocities must stop. With the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu on Sunday and the invasion of Sunday Igboho's house overnight, it shows that the government of Buhari is a terrorist government. It must be declared a terrorist government. And when you have a terrorist government, there must be sanctions against that government.
Yes.
I want to ask Buhari, and I know some of your people are watching this. You have 7 days to release Kanu, and you have 7 days to compensate Igboho, Sunday Igboho, and have his house rebuilt. If you don't do that, we're going to send those pictures, those videos to every government in the world. And we're going to let them know if they continue to do business with you, they are complicit to the atrocities that's been happening in Nigeria. And I want to take this opportunity to say one more thing. We know where your children are. We know your bank accounts. We know where you keep your money. And if you don't do the right thing, we'll make sure you never have access to your money again.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
That was intense.
Sorry,
That
excuse me.
was really
Excuse me.
deep. Genocide, they said, is the deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or group. And then they said war is intense armed conflict between societies, in which case during war, the two opposing sides know that they're fighting war and they're ready and they're prepared. But genocide, they just continue to kill people without the other party being ready to fight. They're trying to wipe people away. So when they say, oh, we don't want war in Nigeria, I don't know what to tell them. This is even more than war. Thank you so much, Chief Abiola, for that. And it is exactly the way it is. That is what it is in Nigeria. That is what it is. That is what is going on. So the whole world has to know this. This is real. It wasn't a movie or anything. It was real. And I'm glad that the people who put this together, they also took time to get the background information of these people who were killed. Thank you so much. We are going to move on now for people who are with us over Zoom. This is coming live at National Press Club in Washington, D.C., United States. It's organized by Yoruba One Voice under the Grand Patron, Iba Gani Adams. We are going to move on. The next thing that we're going to do now is Alaba Lanre Aderoju is going to tell us the role of the foreign affairs of Yoruba One Voice, and then we're going to move on.
Good afternoon, my honorable audience. I have to first and foremost commiserate on behalf of our leader, our grand patron, Are Abiodun Gani Ige Adams, the generalissimo of the entire Yoruba land, with our brother, one of our forefront leader and agitator, Chief Sunday Igboho. Ladies and gentlemen, Once again, ladies and gentlemen of the press, my name is Olariwaju Aderoju, a member of the Foreign Affairs Department of YOV, Yoruba One Voice. The Foreign Affairs Department is responsible for putting this conference together. Our department comprises of distinguished members, of which 3 members are here today in person. Myself, Olariwaju Aderoju, Chief Dr. Akeem Abiola, and Mr. Debo Adekoya. Those who are not with us today are Olori Moremi Ade, Mr. Ademola Adamolekun, and Prince Adedapo Adesomi. Although they are not here with us physically, but they are here with us in spirit. When this department was created by our grand patron, Are Iba Abiodun Gani Ige Adams, 6 months ago, we were mandated to develop a pathway, a roadmap not to only end the atrocities in Nigeria, but to also design a strategy that will lead the actualization of an independent Yoruba nation. After the mandate, we concluded that if the world must know about the atrocities in Nigeria, and if they want an amicable solution that would prevent another civil war in Nigeria, we must do the following things. Number 1, move our agitation from social media and bring it to the attention of the world through the main media, and where it's better to do so where it's better to do so than this prestigious place, the National Press Club. Number 2, to hold a U.S. congressional hearing. 3, to hold a U.S. Senate hearing. Lastly, to petition the White House and ask President Biden to appoint a special envoy for Nigeria. We are at the beginning of our 4 steps strategy, and I would like to urge you to visit our Yoruba One Voice worldwide website and Facebook page and sign the petition for the aforementioned hearings and the request for a special envoy. We believe that through dialogue and the consideration of the foreign government, businesses, executives with investments in Nigeria, most of which are in Yoruba land, and the international community, a roadmap for an amicable dissolution of the current chaotic and crisis-riddled Nigeria through an internationally supervised referendum for self-determination by various ethnic groups in Nigeria can be achieved. Yes. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
When somebody dies, it's those people who are trying to make sure that they give the dead person the real burial. It's not people who are crying. So Yoruba will say it in Yoruba. Ẹni tó gbẹ́lẹ̀ ló sìnkú, ẹni tó ń sunkún ariwo ló ń pa. So I say YOV, they are really taking action. So Iba Gani Adams. I like to call you Baba to talk to us about what is going on in Nigeria. You are in charge of the peace and war in Yoruba land. Kara Oleo.
Thank you, Madam, and I have to use this opportunity to thank the entire members of the YOV Foreign Affairs Department. And at the same time, I must come from sister and greet that we are together in the national conference in 2014, and my big brother, Chief Malafia, who is defending the interests of the Sapa Cardinals. And we have our father here, Professor Akintoye, joining us now after talking through. Thanks, Mokaji, Gadi Bonka, at Yoruba and Lucia Yoruba with Gani Balogun, which I should do at Yoruba with us in this program. I think I will adopt all the submissions that have been given by the first speaker in terms of reading the speech, and at the same time, I must adopt the submission of Dr. Akim Abiola on the basis of documentary. These are clear evidence, and what you have saw here is just a taste of the iceberg of what has happened in Yoruba nation and in Nigeria. I know if Dr. Milafia brings many evidence of what happened in South Kaduna, we spend about 7 hours in this conference. Also, I corroborate in the Niger Delta. Most of what happened in the Niger Delta, and in terms of environmental issues, in terms of the Fulani herdsmen, what they have done in South and Southeast. Southeast is another ugly situation in terms of region, the atrocity they have committed in that region. We are particular about the issue of insecurity first. After the issue of insecurity, we'll be talking about the total liberation. Because if you are living in fear, if you are feeling insecure, there is no way you can liberate yourself. And Yoruba One Voice as an organization stood on the ground that we achieve our cause on the basis of intellectual will. We thought we use our brain and our resource people in Yoruba land to make sure we get our freedom soonest. And I will give you an example. The struggle of having democracy in Nigeria from 1993 to 1999. The Yoruba people and other progressive Nigeria did not shut any gun before we got the democracy that we are running, which I can call a civil rule, not a proper democracy. And from the speaker, they have said it all, what the Commander-in-Chief of Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, the nonchalant attitude to the issue of insecurity, the stage he brought this country, which I can call it economic comatose, and the issue of high presentation of nepotism to our politics from 2015 to 2021. And I believe that we have to show the world what has happened. That was the first stage. Because if you don't present this information to the global village, if anything happens in Nigeria, they can blame us, we that fought for the freedom of our people. And you can see what happened to our dear brother yesterday night when his house was being invaded and about 8 people was killed in the process. His house was vandalized and all his car was being vandalized too. And there's no category statement from our authority now, either from the police or Nigerian army, to accept the responsibility. So when you attack a prominent sons of Yoruba like that, without category statement of what happened, that means that no one life is safe in Nigeria. Either you do it, you justify the way you do it, or you do it in the wrong way. No statement from any security agency for now. So we are telling the global village, the entire world power, the Western world, all the continent, to rise and save this country. Because this is a country of about 230 million people. If there is a war in Nigeria, I don't know the continent that will accept our refugees. And at the same time, apart from our population, apart from their own interests, their economic interests is not guaranteed if there is a war. And they should realize that Nigeria, as a most populous black nation, has a role to play in Africa. We can split this country in a peaceful means on the basis of referendum. There will not be a war if the United Nations cooperate with us. If America as a world power, Britain, Russia, China, and France give us a maximum cooperation, because this department is one of about 9 departments we have in YOB. What they are doing is their own role we give to them. And we have other departments who have their role. So we want to use our brain, like we always done from immemorial. Yoruba race is highly organized race that we do our things simple. And we are always mindful that any cause, any struggle we have, we must not have a maximum casualty. We have to, at the end of the day, there should be a minimum casualty, because there is no way you fight a cause without sacrifice. So I use this opportunity to thank my dear sister, who is the presenter and the coordinator of this program. And I thank all our guests who come from far southern Kaduna to join us in this program. And my dear sister, Akudris, who is a popular activist. I can see he was correcting the impression from the MC that he's not a minister. He's not a minister, but he's popular than many ministers. We have many ministers that was in power in 1999. Nobody knows their name anymore. Even those who left power in 2015, nobody even remember them. But Akobris is an household name in Nigeria on the basis of she's fighting for the right cause and is fighting for their people. Charity begins at home. If you want to be a good Nigerian, you must be a very good regional person. Defend your region and at the same time defend the entire Nigeria on the basis of justice. Thank you very much for coming to this program. As the grand patron of the Yoruba Conference, I use this opportunity to thank everyone. Thank you very much.
We are going to take questions generally when everybody has spoken. The next person that we are going to call is our brother Melafia. We are, and I want to point out, our time is fast spent. Please, we are going to limit our speech to only 2 minutes. And after that, if there is any question, you will be able to respond.
Professor Akintoye, after Malaysia. Okay.
Okay, Sheba Akintoye 1B.
Yes.
Yes, one.
Okay. Boyaki.
Protocol.
Dr. Malaysia, sorry.
Okay.
No. If my leader, Baba Akintoye, is here, I would prefer to defer to him. Please.
Go ahead, Doctor. 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Our leader, Arenaka Council, Generalissimo of Yoruba lands, Adams.
Okay.
All my respects, sir.
Thank you.
And the eminent Professor Akintoye, the man I hold in the highest regards, Eka Lesa, and my sister and comrades, Ankyo Riggs, the organizers of this forum, Mogaji Boyega, my brother, our dear sister, the moderator, all of you, I'm very honored to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Everything you've said is like music to my ears, except for the horrendous pictures we've seen. After seeing this, there is no doubt there is a stage-managed genocide going on in Nigeria. But it's been going on for so many years, particularly in the Middle Belt, until it has now reached the Yoruba land, it has reached the south and other parts of the country. I ask our friends in the United States, in Europe, in Britain, where is your conscience? Where is your conscience? If you allow Nigeria to implode, millions more will die. And I don't think you'll be able to live with your conscience. Just this week, the United Nations announced that more than 340,000 children have died because of the atrocities in the Northeast alone. So if you include Middle Belt, you include Yoruba land, the figure is closer to 1 million from what is going on. So we pray and we hope that our friends in the United States, in Europe and Britain, will rise up to the occasion and give us the support that we need. The Yoruba and a very ancient civilization, they have been more urbanized than any other civilization on the continent of Africa. And in that urban civilization, they have always been an accommodating people. They believe in respect. They respect all authority. They respect elders. The ideal of Omoluabi is the essence of Yoruba culture and decorum. So the Yoruba are not stupid people. When you push them to the wall, they will sooner or later react. Let me also say that there is a strong bond between the Middle Belt and the Yoruba and the South. I come from Southern Kaduna, where you have the great Nok civilization. Nok civilization is very striking because scientists found out the artifacts of Nok civilization. They are similar from that of ancient Egypt, and they are similar to those of Ile-Ife. So there is a bond of connection there. When the Ifa priest wants to go very deep in their incantations, they use a strange language, and that is ancient Nupe language. That tells you that we have a strong bond of connection. Let us build on that. I believe that the destiny of the Middle Belt is linked to the destiny of Yoruba and destiny of South as a whole, South and South-South. To emphasize that to the hearing of my friend, my comrade, my friend and sister, Ms. Ankeo Briggs.
Thank you, sir.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Yoruba say, Ile Oba toju.
Okay.
All
right.
Greater things are going to happen. Let
Thank you,
us
sir.
remain strong. Let us remain fervent. And as Winston Churchill would say, never give up. Never give up. I say never, never, never give up. This
you,
age shall pass. And the sun of hope, the dawn of hope, will rise again. Say, let us remain strong and fervent and focused.
Thank you,
This
sir.
evil shall pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to crave indulgence from Iba Gani Adams to do this speech thing in such a way that since he started, our Baba Akintoye is going to end it. As our people will say, Afagba ni pari àdúrà. You got it. Actually, the next person that I'm going to call is our sister, and Sister Anikio Briggs. It's your turn, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Because of time, I want to stand on all the existing protocol that has been established by my comrade, Dr. Milafia. I greet you all and I thank you so much for inviting me to this forum. I've been friends and sometimes a daughter of great Yoruba leaders in this struggle for emancipation of our people everywhere. I want to extend my condolences at the loss of your great son, my wonderful brother and friend, Yinka Odumake. From here on, whatever successes we all achieve collectively, Yinka will remain a part of it. May he rest in peace. Very clearly, what is happening in Nigeria today is something that, in my opinion, and I say so fearlessly, has been strategically put in place over a very long period of time. The fact that for some reason and somehow we, the collective people of southern Nigeria and the Middle Belt, have just really looked on in total disbelief until we have gotten to this point. And truthfully and honestly, fearlessly, irrespective of the obvious way that this particular government behaves. My people say that when you die, it doesn't really matter if you are found lying on your back or lying on your front. The thing is that you're dead. And that is where we are today in Nigeria. And following in your footsteps by putting this Yoruba one voice worldwide together, I want to say that allow other ethnic nationalities to copy, or other zones to copy this name from you, and so that we can all convene our Niger Delta one voice worldwide together, because we need that unifying force. And I want to appeal to the international community, to the diplomatic community, that it is out of frustration, I know because I live here, it is out of frustration that you see people emerging, the Yorubas, now talking about secession. I met the Yorubas in the struggle for emancipation in the 90s when I came back home, talking about federalism, talking about physical federalism. So this call for separation is new, and it is new because of where we are today. Therefore, the world, America, everywhere, and particularly my mother country, Britain, is the first port of call for all Nigerians. All Nigerians are connected by colonialism to Britain and then to Europe. And therefore, whatever happens in Nigeria, the first port of call, whether they like it or not, is going to be the United Kingdom, and it is going to be Europe, and it's going to be America.
Thank you.
There is no country that can contain the rush to stay alive and leave Nigeria in this world than than the world. So they must step up and really take their rightful place and put a stop to what is happening in Nigeria. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Our time is fast spent. I'm going to call Mogaji Adejuma, Mogaji Boyega Adejuma, to talk to us in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, because we're supposed to leave there at 1:30, and that is not changing. So please, sir, it's your turn.
On every existing protocol, I stand. And I'm going to talk about the Yoruba first. We evolved here. In situ, we evolved here 15,000 years ago. The bones of our ancestors were found at Iweleru, about 7 kilometers from Isharon and about 24 kilometers away from Akure. Scholars from Birmingham University came in 1956 when the caves were discovered, and then they checked the DNA of the bones, and they matched 100% with the bones of the present-day Nigeria. We didn't emigrate from anywhere. We evolved here. And the Great Britain that colonized us, the Yoruba signed a treaty with them in 1888. It was for peace and prosperity. That was what the whole thing about the treaty was. But then the British Empire only lasted for 350 years. Our Yoruba Empire, the Oyo Empire, lasted for 680 years. And why are we going to be treated like second-class citizens in our own nation? In Lagos alone, Apapa local government, just one local government, we have 3 ports. We have the Apapa port, we have the Tinkan port, we have the Roro port. And those 3 ports alone render onto the Federation 67.8% of non-oil revenue. We have our borders, Semedi Roko, that contribute about 30% of non-oil revenue. We have our VAT. Lagos alone contributes 70% of total VAT. And in totality, in GDP, the Yoruba actually contributes 54% to the national GDP, and yet we get less than 12% back in return. That is injustice. That is inequality. That is inequity. That is iniquity that has been bequeathed upon us. And I'll go on to say that here on our land, we have the sea, we have the air, and we have everything in terms of what should make the security of the country to be viable. The Navy is here because we have the sea. And we have this land that is flowing with milk and honey. But then, who are in our forests? Today we have 3,320.
Okay. We're having problem with Magaji Wegadejuma. I'm going to take this opportunity to call our Baba, Professor Senator Banji Akintoye. Baba, we are all here. We are listening to you, sir. We have only 3 minutes. Baba? Baba Akintoye. Baba Akintoye. That's network. And also, I'm going to use this opportunity to announce that the question time will come after when we are doing the networking and refreshment because of the time. Baba? So, Eric. Àwọn Fúlàní ti gbójúrí wọ́n tún ti gbà ó. Àwọn Fúlàní náà ní ẹ̀kọ́ ó lè lórí ibú. Ó lè lórí burúkú lọ́rọ̀ àwọn Fúlàní gbogbo tí ò dáa náà wọ́n ní.
A máa bọ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn.
So, I'll be able to get Baba. My pin number.
No, they can't talk. I don't know, can't talk. Because of money? Yeah, no, not because of money, because they have currency in their comfort. That's why they can't talk. Àwọn Fúlàní jókòó látòdó ìbọ̀lẹ̀ ẹ̀yìn náà jìnnà ṣùgbọ́n ìṣèjì láì jẹ́ tó bá pè ní
Let's take question and answer.
Okay, we are going to take a question and answer.
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm just wondering why you can't hear me.
Oh.
No.
Can anybody hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So,
Can you hear me, please?
We are hearing you. We are hearing you.
We can hear you.
I read from where I stopped.
Yeah, we have only 2 minutes
Let him round up.
to end everything, and we are thinking that if we can bring Baba in, and then we will use another time to do the question. We will use the rest of the time to do question. If we can give Baba an opportunity to talk for 2 minutes too. Magaji, that is what we are thinking here, sir.
Yes, I like what you're thinking. But the fact remains that if the 2 minutes are still available, then I can go ahead and do it.
Baba, we are thinking about giving it to Baba Kintoye.
They haven't talked yet.
So
even the Secretary General of Yoruba One Voice, Dr. Kolomo. If Baba is not there, allow Dr. Kolomo to.
Okay, Dr. Kolomo. Baba, Guru Baba. Baba Kintoye.
Hey, Dr. Kolomo.
Dr. Kolomo.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. We have only 2 minutes, sir. But you can go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our Foreign Affairs Committee who put this conference together. And of course, we must not forget, how do we get to where we are today? We are not going to be where we are today without the effort of our grand patron, Are Ona Kakanfo, of Yoruba land. Now, the crux of the matter is that Yoruba is a nation on its own. And Nigeria is a country. Like Papa was said, Nigeria is just a mere geographical expression. You can't have a nation within a nation. If you have that kind of scenario, there's no way we'll be able to attain our full potential. We have everything that it takes for us to be great. We have the seaports, we have the human resources, we have the minerals. Everything to make us great, we have it as a Yoruba people. Until we have our own nation and we have that self-determination, we will not be able to attain our full potential. And I've dreamed of our own Yoruba nation, where we are going to be free. And all our resources will be used for the benefit of our people, because that is the basis of humanity in the first place. You must look after your people first. Like Are said, charity begins at home. You have to be great at home to be great outside. So our resources will be used for the benefit of our people. And of course, if you go back to 1963 Constitution or 1960 Constitution, that is the best constitution where all Nigerians came together, our four bearers. That is the constitution where the negotiation was done at that stage. And unfortunately, our autonomy that we had during that period, the true federalism that was negotiated for, was stolen by the northern oligarchy. I don't need to ask a lawyer to render the service of an advocate to ask for this thing to be restored without any further delay. Great Yoruba nation. Thank you all. You're welcome.
Thank you. Our time is gone. I'm just going to use this opportunity to make a closing remarks, but you can still ask your questions.
So guys, we are done for today. If you're yet to follow me on YouTube, feel free to go follow me on YouTube. I'm going to upload the videos very soon. Okay? Peace out, guys. Trust me to show you around, okay? I'm going to show you around. So people are here taking pictures, doing whatever. So guys, I just had to stop at the White House. Can you see that? Oh, where's my glasses? Oh, I don't have my glasses with me. Our warriors. This is beautiful. Emily, go call me. Hello, 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 White House.